the reason why I've called it this is because it's obviously related to search within the LinkedIn platform. So like the easiest thing that you can do to get your personal branding journey started, if you are starting right from the start, is to sort of optimize your bio with relevant keywords. So I think potentially, on the next slide, do you have a screenshot of my profile? Essentially, yeah, there we go. Cool. So as you can see from my sort of header, I've included B2B SaaS content in my sort of headline. That's effectively serving, like, for any content people who are listening, it's like a seed keyword. So anyone in the same space looking to connect with like-minded people, kind of like me, like, I'm easy to find. So visibility is one key thing. Obviously, if you're trying to grow your network, like, people searching for you is one way for people to find it. You can also see that my headline is benefit-led. So to stand out in a crowded space, B2B SaaS companies need to outrank their competitors on Google and steal their traffic. The best way they can do that is to get feature snippets to target keywords. Everyone in B2B SaaS is also, like, super aware of the need to bridge the gap between marketing and sales. I'm pretty sure Cognizant's done a fair few webinars today on that topic. So I've included to make sales easier in my headline as well, just so that I'm kind of, like, aware of that and, like, taking more of a holistic view to content rather than it being kind of siloed off from the wider marketing team. Also on my profile, there's, like, a couple of hashtags that you can see underneath that headline. That is because I've put creator mode onto my profile. That's pretty easy to do. I think if you just, like, Google the tutorial, it'd be easy to do. I can't actually remember. You get a prompt sometimes if you haven't done it. But yeah, essentially that means people don't have to connect with you to see the content that you're putting out. They can just follow you, which I think is sometimes a lower ask than connecting with people. Sometimes people have, like, very strict rules on who they'll sort of, like, accept and things like that. I'm definitely not one of them, but, like, the follow is just, like, a bit of a less significant ask for people. So it's kind of more impersonal and easier to just engage that way. Next, onto the featured section. So yeah, on here I've included top performing LinkedIn posts. Kind of sounds obvious, but, like, in the past I've included kind of, like, external blogs and things like that. While it's kind of all right to do that, LinkedIn sort of obviously prefers users to stay within the platform. So I think it's best to showcase the LinkedIn content that you've got in there, and also just, like, serving people content where they are, like, already is best practice, rather than obviously getting them to leave and do something different. And next up is the about section. So yeah, to sort this section out, I think you probably won't be able to take in everything that's on mine there. I'm sure we can, you can get the recording and pause this and have a look at it. But and actually, the more that I look at this doc, like, the more I kind of, like, critique it, because I think you could argue that mine is probably too focused on me, which might seem like a strange thing to say for a personal profile. But I think the thing with a LinkedIn profile is that it's not a CV. Your aim should be to try and help your audience solve their problems and kind of meet their goals. So for me, as I'm not a freelancer, that means I should probably cognize them a little bit more than selling myself in here. So that's a potential improvement point I could do on this. I do think that said, there's definitely room for you to get your personality across and sort of speak about your achievements and sort of, like, your credibility and things like that. I think it's just a case of getting the hierarchy of information right and just having that sort of benefit-led kind of, like, I'm going to help you out attitude first is best practice for this, for sure, rather than being sort of, like, self-serving.
Yeah, and I guess you can use that about section almost as, like, the CTA of your profile. So, like, that's where you can, if you're a freelancer, get people to reach out to you or learn a bit more about you. But then also, if you're working for, like, a B2B company like you are, it can be where you have a bit more information about the company that you're working for and what they do. So it's sort of almost like a place where you want people to end up when they're going through your profile to take the next step.
Definitely, yeah. And obviously, since I handed the newsletter over to you, it's no longer in there, but I did used to have a UTM tracking code to sign up to the newsletter right at the bottom there that you can see. So as you say, that's kind of, like, that was kind of like the CTA. I'm always trying to sort of win people around with my tone and things like that. And but obviously, I'm probably not adding enough value in this section here for them to sign up to that newsletter, and that's what I'd need to do to make that better. But yeah, definitely the CTA is an important thing to have in the about section.